one thing left to do with this. Look at all this garbage. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If this is your first time joining me, my name's Mike. This is my project that I picked up a few weeks back and that I've been kind of working on. It's time to make this dump body usable again. As you can see, this thing has been getting used as a garbage can since 2017. There's just trash, wood, dirt, debris, just anything that was kind of left somewhere. Someone just threw it up over the sideboard and it was just used as a dumpster. So we are going to give this dump body some love. It doesn't need that much work. It needs a new paint job, a few patches here and there. I'd like to rip off these old dilapidated, rotted off sideboards and put some new sideboards on. And we kind of have to descale this thing. There's no rot on the floor. The floor is beautiful. All the cross members everywhere, all nice. The actual frame rails, there's no serious rot on this dump body. This thing's being held on by a thread here. This is going right in the scrap pile. She's got the old floor elimination package in this thing. There is some serious blistering going on in this whole section where this cab's headboard support is. So I think I'm gonna have to cut this support off and weld a new one on and hammer out all the heavy blistering before I put a new paint job on it. But that's the worst of the rust on this thing. And then there's just two holes. There's just a hole right here, if you can see that. And then there's a hole that needs to be patched right there. Other than that, the dump body is just gonna get heavily wire wheeled and sanded down, new coat of paint, new sideboards. These things are just garbage. This is not a show truck. It's not going down the Barrett Jackson auction line. It's just, I want to make this truck be able to last a lot longer and be able to be a good work truck for someone so it can make them some money. And yeah, but anyway, let's get all this garbage cleaned up here, clean out the bed, rip those sideboards off, and see what sort of mischief we can get into. Think of taking these sideboards off. I have this tool to use, so why not use it? Alright, so the inside here is not that bad, just a quick little plate right over that. That should do the trick, cover that up. Nothing bad down here, that's all solid still. I think all the heavy rust is knocked out though. The plate on this back side of the headboard here will obviously cover up these holes and it'll give us something to weld to when we put the support braces back on. And then there was a couple other new holes that we found. We're gonna have to patch this hole right here on this gusset, not a big deal. And then there was a hole starting right here too, so on the passenger side, so might as well just patch that up while we're here. And everything else can be wire wheeled and then get some new paint put on this thing. In the meantime, I'm getting this toolbox off here because this thing is completely rotted out and it's in my way. the metal lights got the best of this thing. There is no floor to that. So all the lights work in this truck, and there's a lot of sun shining in, but the taillights are on, but none of these upper body lights work, except this one right here. You can see that one's on. So I'm gonna pop these guys out and swap that one in to see if the wiring's all set. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's why these don't work. Yeah, this harness is junk actually. Bulbs themselves are honestly probably fine, but we're gonna have to replace them anyway actually, because you can see how corroded that wiring harness is. There's supposed to be a post sticking out of that. It's just been completely rotted off. This one's pretty bad, but it's supposed to look like that. You see how the posts are coming out of it? You can see on this right one that's a lot of corrosion. Just over the years, the salt's been getting into them and rotting away. So new wiring harness for the body, new lights, be good to go. Just gonna use like a bolt head to use it to stop it from sliding out, this rod here, and that should do the trick. That's what's on this side, so it should be fine. Things are straightened out. This doesn't move back and forth anymore. Works flawlessly. Fixed. I went down to my old work where they put dump trucks together actually, and this is actually a cab shield support. So my plan is to take this shield support, it's a little bit shorter than this one, but just kind of put it right up and over this, just like that, and weld it in place. Maybe a little bit more than just grinding some. My welder here, it's out of gas, so these welds are going absolutely horrendous. I get my bottle refilled at my local main oxy place, but in the meantime I'm going to start wire wheeling all this heavy stuff down and see how that looks. So this area right here and then up here, that's the look I'm going for, just to kind of scratch up all the heavy rust. And then everything else should just go over with a sander, and then we'll lay some new paint on this. Now I'm gonna go over it with 60 grit sandpaper and really rip into this paint and kind of scratch it up so the new paint has something to bite into. The old paint's scratched up enough to where the new paint should be able to bite in. Get a new fresh coat on this, make it look a little bit better. In the meantime, my new bottle of gas just showed up, so let's finish welding everything on here first. She ain't perfect, but she ain't going nowhere. Perfect. Just gonna replace these things anyway, so it doesn't matter if they break. I always like getting these dump bodies painted back up. Let's work on sanding this tailgate here. The back is all fully prepped, ready for a new coat of paint. I still got to do the passenger side here, and then I got to do up the headboard here, and then I also need to do behind the headboard as well. And I'm gonna do from this rail here up. I will catch back up with you guys when it's ready. We need to do one more thing. The exterior is obviously ready for paint, but we need to take care of, like, see all this flaking and stuff right here? Like, all this has to come off. So rather than trying to like hand chisel it, I want to see if I can grab a pressure washer and blast all that heavy paint scaling away. But this has to come off to protect the steel. Stuff just hanging off like this, you can't leave this. You can't put fluid film over this and expect it not to rust. All this, it's loosely on here, so I think hitting it with a pressure washer should do it. And then underneath the cab, if you guys have been following along in the series here, you know what it looks like under here. No serious rust, just a lot of paint peeling. Let's get the pressure washing here and clean this up. To give you an idea, I just did this section. It cleared off all the flaking. As you can see, it looks nice under here. I mean, it's soaking wet obviously, but you go from that nice and clean once it dries to see that flaky stuff here, all this stuff. This came out really good. It's gonna take a while, but this is definitely gonna be the way to go. Wow, messy. It's doing what I want though. Pull off all the crud. This truck is ready to be sprayed with fluid film. I'm gonna leave the truck here for the night, let it all dry off. Once the truck's dry, we are going to brush this dump body, get her back to black here. Probably gonna end up doing some new mud flaps. Got to get those new lights in the back of the body there, and sideboards, and then the dump body is all set besides the fluid film on the underside here. So I will catch you guys tomorrow morning while this is dry, and then we're going to get a coat of paint on the dump body. And it rained overnight. Not good. Can't paint when it's wet, so I think I'm going to try to grab my leaf blower and see if I can blow the rain off this, and maybe I'm going to pull the truck in the garage and see if I can get a coat of paint on this. We gotta cut these old harnesses out because, as I showed you, they're all corroded there. So we gotta cut that out, wire in new lights here, but we need this body to be dry. We're gonna be building some nice new sideboards. So in the meantime, there's just a little bit of scraping and wire wheeling I'd like to still do underneath the cab here. Like just kind of under here, could use a little bit more wire wheeling and stuff. I'd like to mock up a patch panel for this, just a nice flat piece here. And we'll probably end up welding that right in. That'll take care of that too. I am satisfied with the driver's side here. It's nice and clean. There's no sort of scaling. Passenger side is all cleaned up to my satisfaction here. No serious rust besides the inner rocker there, and that's just a flat piece of metal, so that's very easy to patch, not a big deal. Believe it or not, this is a fairly clean truck in my area. Let's get some patch panels kind of mocked up and see what we can do with those. Got them all grinded down. Passenger side, back of the driver's cab, front of the driver's cab. Is it perfect? No, but is it gonna do what the old one did? Absolutely, and there's no hole. Yeah, I like that. The cab kind of has a little bit of a bend, so I put a bend in this bracket here, and she fits really good. It sits nice and flush just like that. That's got some good bite on it. All right, that should be plenty. Yeah, that's on there nice. I'm happy with that. Just some small beads will hold that thing on. Let's grind some of these welds down to make it look better. There's no more hole. It's probably stronger than it was from the factory. This is 1/8 inch and this is 1/16 of an inch. Let's move to the passenger side now. All right, she's tacked on there nice, just like the other side. I'm just gonna make small little beads, just kind of work my way around. And once I feel it's strong enough on there, I'm gonna leave it. But that looks good like that. It's all welded in, grinded out. It's on there nice. I'm gonna put the body up and work on these lights here. So these are what I have to work with, these little pigtails. Unfortunately, I don't have pigtails that kind of are in series here, so I'm gonna have to make this work. Just test to make sure this is gonna work. New light here. I got my marker lights on, so when I plug this in, this light should turn on here. Perfect. Wiring's no fun. I will catch up with you guys when I get everything wired up. We got some new sideboards here. Let's get them on the truck. I'm gonna double stack them. These are 2x12s here, so we'll have 24 inches added on both sides. It'll look nice once it's all done. Check this thing out, way better now. We got support brackets in the back, so they stay together nicely. Let's get back to the wiring here. I got all my wiring all set. I just gotta put the lights in. Nice. This thing is turning out to be a beauty. Look at those sideboards and the new paint. What do you think, guys? So we've knocked out quite a bit of stuff on this dump truck, but there's still a lot to do. I haven't touched this cab really at all. I haven't washed it yet. It's absolutely disgusting. I'd like to try to find the correct grill for this. This is supposed to be chrome. This truck's an XLT, so it comes with a factory chrome grill, not the XL grill. So I'm gonna get the Z3 silver paint code mixed up for this, so it's gonna be the correct paint going on the bottom of the rockers. We're gonna base coat and clear coat it. The rims need to be cleaned up. We're gonna paint the hubs, and we're gonna load it up with fluid film. And we need to attack the absolutely disgusting, hasn't been touched for I don't even know how long interior. It needs a full-on detail. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I hope you enjoy what I've done with this dump truck here. I'm just trying to give it a second life. I mean, this thing only has 75,000 miles on it, so there's a ton of life left in this. Stay tuned for the final touches on this thing, see the final product. But I'll catch you guys next time.